Hey, no fancy audio, no funky microphone, no intro music, no titling, no nothing. This is me coming at you. I'm going to try and keep this short because the first couple takes I've done have gone very long. I have a really serious case of tinnitus going on, or tinnitus, as some people call it. And I'm just keeping this on my YouTube page and not sharing this on other social media. Because if you know me through this YouTube page, you know I'm a music guy, I'm an audio guy, I'm a super picky guy, I'm a hyper detail oriented guy when it comes to music and audio. And for the last 3 weeks, if not going into the last 2 months, I've had a serious affliction going on with my hearing. And I have been to my doctor, and my doctor has hooked me up with a specialist nearby, but that is not for another 7 months. And in the last 48 hours, I've turned out 4 of the worst mixes I think I've ever done for clients, customers, students even. I have a student applying for college who asked me to add some little finishing guitar touches on a song that he wrote. And we recorded. I showed him how to learn how to use recording software. And he's done amazing at it. And I couldn't tell if what I did was good or not. I know the part to play, but I couldn't tell from the sound of it if it was good. Now, if I can use a cooking analogy, which I often like to do, imagine you're a chef who's lost your sense of taste almost completely. Say the only thing you can taste is, pick something in the middle of the taste spectrum and say bread. All you can taste is bread. You can't tell if something is oversalted or undersalted, too sweet, not sweet enough. Does it have enough zing, enough tartness to it? You don't know. Your sense of taste in that area is gone. It's not diminished, it's gone. So for me, in my ears right now, there are 2 things going on. Now, normally tinnitus or tinnitus is like a high-pitched ringing in your ears. Anybody who's been to a loud concert has experienced that similar effect within the hours or days after that concert, where your muscles in your ears are screaming under the tension of trying to restrain your eardrums from vibrating to all that sound pressure. But it's like, to describe what my hearing is like now is like, imagine that you're standing at your kitchen sink and you run the tap full. That sound, what some people would call white noise, which isn't white noise technically, but what some people would call white noise, that level, like shh, like that, is what I hear in my head all the time. And what it's doing is it's masking those same frequencies in the music that I'm trying to produce. Contrary to that, on the low end of the spectrum is this rumble. Imagine you're sitting in your living room inside your house and you hear a truck coming by on your street. You know, that rumble that you can feel, you can kind of hear it, but you kind of don't. That's going on in my hearing as well. So that is also masking the sounds in the music I'm trying to produce. So what that leads to is a confusion as to whether or not those sounds are too much or too little in the music. Is there too much low? Is there not enough low? Is there too much high? Is there not enough high? And what that's kind of led me to try and do over the last, little while is to take that one most primary rule of mixing and producing music, of mixing with your eyes and not your ears. And what that means is where you're looking at things like frequency response graphs, EQ curves, compressor dynamics, or whatever, you're looking at them on your computer screen and you're trying to judge through educated experience whether the boost or cut or whatever is enough. And if you can't hear it, you really don't know. Every situation, every singer, every instrument, every microphone, every set of speakers is different. If you've heard music or audio on various systems, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't, indulge me, okay? So what I've found is that over the last couple of weeks, like I said, 3 weeks to maybe 2 months, my work has gotten worse. And like I said about the last 48 hours, the worst work of my life has gone out of my studio. And I feel really bad. I told one guy, I said, don't even pay me for this. This is not, this is not worth anything. Just let me know if there's anything in there you can use. I've submitted work to online mix review groups for hopes for input from people with good ears to suggest to me seriously what to do. And some of it I've put into action, but I don't know. It's like trying to teach somebody how to cook something over the phone. You can have them get the ingredients and assemble things in the right way and cut things hopefully to the right size and evenly. But unless you're there watching the process, unless you're there tasting little bits along the way, and when your inner chef knows when that moment has come where the dish is ready to serve, then you serve it and then it's going to be ideal. That's kind of like the way I feel just sitting here trying to mix music and record music and produce music and even master music. I can't even get into mastering. I can't even think about it right now. So I'm in this really horrible loop of basically, how do you work when you can't work? And it's rough. And I know that other people have been there who are also in the music and audio field. And if you're seeing this, please let me know how you got through it. Because, 7 months is a long time to wait for a specialist. And part of me is hoping that this is just going to go away in that time. Part of me is thinking it's going to get worse. And I don't really see what I can do properly for anyone at the moment. Now, I'm not looking for an poor you, or everybody, say, poor baby. No, I need help. I need input. I need direction. I need some sort of suggestion as to what people who've been through this have done. And aside from saying, well, go out and get a real job and just let music be your hobby, that's why I'm not putting this on other social media forums, because I know as soon as, if this were to go out on Facebook, I would get those comments, I'd get those messages. And that's the one thing, the pandemic did teach creative people, is that you're really not valued for your output. If you do something that, that's kind of cool, but people will want it for free. And if they don't get it for free, they're not even going to click the link. So that's fine. I've moved past that. I don't think about that anymore. I will release music as a way of venting, catharsis, if you will. But for, anyone else, like I said, who has input on this, let me know, because Daddy's not coping right now. And I don't want to wait 7 months for some kind of answer of how to get my stuff working again, like how to get my main senses back in form. It's not been happy days. So if you have any input, please comment. If you have any suggestions of other people who I might check out, who you know who've been through this, and, hook us up. I'd love to have a dialogue. Because, it's grim times ahead otherwise. Anyways, thanks for listening, folks.